Let's take a look at this iPad mini. The model on the back is A2993. Now, let's check the system settings. Under General About, it shows as a Hong Kong version iPad mini 7. 128 gigabytes. My followers are really smart. The HK version is cheaper than the mainland China version. I just want to ask, what do you guys use an iPad for? What would you even store with 1 terabyte of storage? Let's quickly test all the functions. It still has Touch ID. Can it be upgraded in storage? What determines the maximum storage capacity? What upgrades does iPad mini 7 have over iPad mini 6? After watching this video, you're going to be shocked, especially when you see the difference between iPad mini 6 and iPad mini 7. After heating it up, we open the screen, the way it opens and the feel of it. It's almost identical to the iPad mini 6. The internal structure of the iPad mini 6 and iPad mini 7 is the same. Even the metal shielding plate and screws are identical. The battery cable is placed under the touch display, which has been criticized for a long time, but it's still the same. 2 speakers on top and bottom, battery in the center, motherboard on the right, and a USB-C charging port at the bottom. Let's protect everything except for the motherboard. Remove these 2 screws. Underneath is the Apple Pencil charging module. Remove the black adhesive covering the antenna to disconnect it. Heat the black shielding plate on the motherboard, then remove it. Underneath, we can see the motherboard components: SSD storage, A17 Pro CPU, main power unit. This is the layout. Because iPad motherboards are large and firmly attached, we gently lift it up. Protect the surrounding components. Preheat the SSD. Remove the adhesive around the SSD. Add a small amount of soldering flux, heat it, and remove the original 128 gigabytes SSD. Apply more flux, smooth out the solder points, and clean them. Now, according to the request from my followers, they want to upgrade to 1 terabyte, but we all know that iPad mini 6 can only support up to 512 gigabytes. Can iPad mini 7 support 1 terabyte storage? What actually determines the maximum storage capacity? Some people are just quietly watching this video, but they secretly like, comment, share, and follow. Those people are so awesome. Let's keep going. Preparing the 1 terabyte SSD, aligning the solder balls. Now, let's install the 1 terabyte SSD. Add a bit of soldering flux. Position the 1 terabyte SSD. Heat it so the solder points fuse. When we touch it, it should feel bouncy and stable. That means the soldering is complete. Clean everything up. Remove the protective adhesive around the motherboard. I honestly don't know. What do you guys use an iPad for? Gaming, studying, or binge watching? Now, let's seal the SSD with original Apple adhesive. This original adhesive flows smoothly and fills the bottom of the SSD. Wipe off the excess adhesive. Place the motherboard on a heat pad to dry the adhesive. Once dry, clean it again. Remove the old adhesive on the shielding plate. Apply new double-sided tape. Some people are just quietly watching this video, but they secretly like, comment, share, and follow. Those people are so awesome. Now, reinstall the shielding plate. Clean everything up. Now you can see the iPad mini 7 has an A17 Pro CPU, while the iPad mini 6 has an A15 Bionic CPU. So here's the clear answers. The CPU determines the maximum storage capacity. But now, after seeing everything, what's the real difference between iPad mini 6 and iPad mini 7? Based on Apple's official specs, guess what? You won't believe it. Apple played a huge joke on everyone. Clean off the remaining adhesive from the case. Place the screen on the heat pad to remove the adhesive. Clean the edges of the screen. Apply new double-sided tape. At the end of the video, I'll show you a spec comparison. You'll see if I'm right or not. Once again, clean everything. Now, install the screen, reconnect the display and touch cables. Finally, reconnect the battery. Hopefully, in iPad mini 8, Apple moves the battery connector to the top. Once everything is cleaned up, remove the screen protector film. Final cleaning, remove the front-facing camera's film, then close the screen. Because we upgraded the storage chip, the iPad won't boot up immediately, so we need to connect it to a computer and install the latest system. After setup, the iPad can be updated and restored normally. The only difference between small storage and large storage iPads is the SSD chip. Everything else is the same, but the price difference is thousands of dollars, and the official maximum storage is only 512 gigabytes. Now, we've successfully upgraded it to 1 terabyte. It's still the same Hong Kong version iPad mini 7. So now, guess again, what's the real difference between iPad mini 6 and iPad mini 7? Let me know in the comments.